Hey guys, Weston here with Defensive Concepts Training. I'm joined with Hayden.
Yep, so Hayden Wright. I'm shot my first match here and we're gonna kind of talk about it today.
So Hayden, before we get started, kind of what's your experience level with shooting?
I grew up shooting, love shooting, got into law enforcement recently, used to work for a manufacturing company as well, so it's always been kind of a grounded thing for me, but never like this.
Okay, yeah. My experience a little briefly is I grew up shooting, joined the Marine Corps pretty young, shot rifles in there, got out, started getting interested in competition shooting, started shooting some pistols, got into law enforcement, got more into shooting pistols, and here we are. So overall, how do you think that match went for you today? Just a little bit of everything.
I think it went about as good as I thought it was going to go. You know, we worked together, so we talked about a lot of those things and what to expect, but coming in, I still didn't know really what to expect other than what you see on YouTube, because usually YouTube, you see all the fancy stuff that happens. It's not the bad and ugly. Well, today was the bad and ugly.
Bad and ugly happens to everybody. Like I said, I think I have something over 50 matches, which in the grand scheme of things is not a whole lot, but it's better than most people.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So for me, and you can attest to it, I had a really struggle session that first stage, so it happens to everybody. So let's kind of talk about what we were shooting today. Why don't you go ahead, go first?
Yeah, so this is an old rig setup. So my first agency that I was at, we were cool. We were allowed to wear nylon stuff. And so this is my old duty belt. It's oh geez, now I'm brain farting what it's Safe Life Defense. Sorry, I took a second to remember.
It's a Molly belt. They're all the same.
Yeah, they're all the same. They're all the same. Yeah, so I got a Safe Life Defense belt. It's got the cool fancy Cobra buckle in it. I'm running some Safariland products here, but I'm not running my duty weapon. I decided to run an OG M&P 2 or 1.0, not the 2.0, the 1.0.
We'll talk about that later, I think.
Yeah, so, but general setup, I didn't have enough mag pouches for it, so I just ran the two here, and I had to reload from my back pocket, which wasn't great. But yeah, that's kind of the setup. If you want to dive into yours before we dive into anything else.
So I shot a little bit different. I was shooting my Glock 34 with a Hollow Sun red dot. I know it's made in China. I know it's garbage. I get that. But we're running that because it works for me for right now. Some crappy holster and one of my first or second competition holsters I think I ever ran. Running the Lynx belt from Double Alpha Academy. It's a nice new competition belt, really customizable with some factory Glock mags with Henning base plates. It gives me about 23 rounds, and that's allowed. So one of the basics kind of here is because he's shooting iron sights and I'm shooting with the red dot, you shot in a different division today. So I was able to load longer magazines. These ones there's a certain length they have to be, but essentially it's a 22 or 23 round magazine. This one was 23 rounds. These ones are all 23 rounds. I ran 4 of them. You were limited to 15 rounds in the magazine. Which, as a guy who used to shoot that sort of division, it changes the game a lot. It changes how you have to worry about that.
Constantly reloading.
Constantly reloading, yeah. We'll talk about that in another video. I've got some stories about that. However, so what was different for you than what you thought was going to happen?
So I mean, you think of a normal range day or like a pistol class or something that you go to where, I mean, there will be some movement. You might have some cool drills and stuff where you got some weapon transitions, you know, all that kind of stuff. But a lot of that is primarily towards more of like a tactile type mentality, right? There's bad guy, shoot bad guy. Where here you've got multiple targets. You've got strategies that you got to think of. You got a time cap that you have to stay under. You have penalties that you keep in mind with. And so coming up with your own strategy on what targets to go first and then make the movement afterwards, it was totally different than what I'm used to.
it's a very different skill set. I've taken a couple of new guys to the range. I took my dad years ago who did, I don't know, 20, 30 years in law enforcement, some of that state, some of that local, some of that federal. Kicked his butt. The different styles of shooting. It's entirely different than what most people use. However, it's a lot more realistic in my opinion. Yes, it's gamified. Yes, there are different games that we play. However, you have to shoot and move in any sort of real life defensive scenario.
Yep.
And that's what you do here. You shoot and you move, and you have to decide, hey, can I make that shot or not? Do I need to move to a better spot or not?
Yep.
So overall, we'll talk a little bit about it. So overall, it's broken down into divisions. I forget the exact number. There's like between 6 and 8 divisions here.
Yeah.
I came in 6th in my division. I actually didn't check to know what place you came in your division. You came in 4th out of 5.
There you go.
And I came in 6th out of 17. So I was about the top 3rd. Not where I like to be. A little bit of a struggle session the first stage. However, crap happens. Yeah. Now, going forward, what sort of things did you learn from this being your first match?
Well, I mean, definitely taking a step back and understanding how to break the course of fire down, as opposed to seeing all the targets. You know, you got 15 targets out there, and it's like, okay, do I just take it with one big giant paintbrush and be like, bah, and go for it, or do you have a strategy to it? So I think learning the strategy on what's more efficient. Because, you know, we had to talk at one match where it was like, hey, we can start in the middle, go left and right. And you're like, why? Why, dude? Like, you can hit all these targets here and then efficiently move. So I think taking that into consideration and developing the strategy a little bit better will definitely help. I think, too, is the pistol setup. Yes. Like, I went back to my roots. Like, I've had the M&P 1.0 forever. I like the feel. I like the palm swell. I like this. Everything about the gun, but today we found some mechanical flaws with the gun where I wasn't necessarily noticing shooting at targets, you know, in normal engagement distances, and normal engage,
training distances,
yes, exactly, which would be that 21 feet mark, that golden rule, right? So like 7-15 yards. We're here, mechanical, and I'll be one of the first people to say, like, missing a target, it's me. Yeah. It's got nothing to do with the gun. Like, but today we may have seen something where with the 1.0, where the deficiencies with accuracy and some of the mechanical accuracies with it may have played a bigger role in here. So having the gear and understanding the gear, definitely, especially at those bigger distances. I mean, when you're missing a steel plate at 50 yards,
it's not a hard shot. Like, let's be honest here, it's not a hard shot. I've seen you make better shots than that in our trainings before.
Right,
like,
you're right.
That was looking pretty good. Even coming back here, so it was funny. I heard the hit, and I heard myself go far, and so I had to alternate the medium. I got the 2 on the close. And then I think I got the first on the medium, and the second on the far, and I came back, so then I just alternated.
Agency, I've seen you do that.
Yeah,
that was one thing that we ran into. We ran into some problems throughout the stage. You ran into some misses, a little high. Honestly, there's always going to be that at your first stage. I'm not going to chalk it all up to the gun. And
for sure.
Do you.
No,
neither
absolutely
do you,
not.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of these little things to where when you're out there shooting and your first time on the range, you start missing. You're going to do stuff you never thought you would ever do. You're like, I'm too good for that. And then timer goes beep, and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. And you do the thing you never thought you were going to do. And that happens to even experienced competitors like me. It happened today, and it will happen again. But when I train, my goal is to make that happen less frequently. And when it happens, it's not as bad. I struggled with a certain type of target, a spinner. We'll probably overlay a video, of me struggling with that guy here in a little bit. Come on. You got it. Hit it. Almost had this. Get that bottom. Got straight on the bottom. Drive it over. And but I was able to come back from that, and I was able to push forward. I got it to work, and I moved on.
Yep.
As a newer guy, if you would have ran into that same problem, even having the experience with those targets, it would have been tough for you to come back from that.
Oh,
right?
absolutely. In that first match that we did there too, or not the first match, but that first stage, it was like I was missing steel, and it's like, what is going on with this? And it's just you gotta take a step back, gotta swallow the ego a little bit, like move on, take everything here. And that was a really cool thing seeing today. You know, you see on social media a lot of people attacking each other, but today was a really close group of guys who like truly wanted to see each other succeed, and that was actually really cool to see. And I wasn't fully expecting that today.
So when we squatted, I chose this particular squad we were with because I know the guys. A lot of them are former law enforcement. I've been shooting with them off and on for years, and I really like the guys. And they're not out here. They're out here to do the best they can, but they're not going to screw you over in the process.
Yeah,
Anytime
for sure.
you have a problem, they'll pull you aside and they'll say, "Hey, do this, this, this." That happened with me. My first stage, when a guy was like, "Hey, dude, I've never seen you shoot that poorly before," and I was like, "And you're not going to see it again."
Yep.
And I was able to move it back. And then as soon as I came back from my little funk, he was like, "Dude, that was what I expect to see from you."
Yep.
But I saw them pull him aside a few times, talk to him. "Hey, here's how you get some hints. Here's how you do some stuff." There's so much that goes into competition shooting and just shooting it overall that you just do not see at the flat range.
No, you
even
don't.
when we try to implement it, like as a firearms trainer for the agency we work for, I try to implement that sometimes. You just can't.
No,
and it's entirely
you can't.
different concept. Oh, wouldn't you agree with that?
It is like, and a moment ago I said, you know, you got to swallow your ego, and I feel like you know, when we do a range day within our own agency and stuff, there is a little bit. I'm not saying it's all bad,
No.
but here it was definitely more like getting the guy to the next step, or it was more of a group effort as opposed to, you know, you got the one fire range master who's out there dictating what's going on, and if you don't do it that way, then you're wrong.
Yes.
Where here was like, no, man, you got this, like it was more of a group. I don't want to call it a hive mind, but more like a group effort to get you going where you need to go.
When you're with good people shooting these sort of matches, and I will say this, the vast majority of competitors I've shot with over the years I've been doing this are good people and good competitors. They'll bounce ideas off each other.
Yeah.
They'll sit there. We were doing one stage where there's a lot of little hallways, little shoot house we had to get through. And people were like, "I'm going to do it like this." Other people were like, "I'm going to change it and do it kind of like this." And I looked at both of the ideas. I had kind of formulated my own plan. And I was like, okay, I know what I like better. I like to be able to take a little bit cleaner shots on some targets. And I was like, I'm going to add in a few extra steps to do that. And I was able to make that choice. But we were sitting there talking, and people give ideas back and forth. And that comes to the stage plan, which is one of those unique things for competition shooting. However, once you get that mastered, it all comes down to the shooting.
And absolutely. And to talk about that exact stage again, you know, I got to see a lot of people go through it, you know, hearing all the talks, how you're going to do it. And I kind of formulated my own plan and failed. and failed. But it was cool. Like, you know, you were filming it and following me, but the range, the RO there was like, "Hey, remember, we got to back up. We got to do that." Like, so
Come back here for these others. So. Back up with your hand that way. There we go.
it wasn't this, "Oh, you failed, we're done." Like there was still given the opportunity. Hey, you went past this part. Remember the 180 rule, because that's a big emphasis here, and I totally get it. You know, in our world, it's 360, but on the range, we got to be safe. And so it was just, it wasn't this, you know, you got to remember it's just, hey, we got to move back. Remember the 180 rule, and then go from there. I didn't make the time, but hey, learn from it.
Yeah.
So,
and that's something that's unique to this, is called an outlaw match. It's not a nationally sanctioned match. It's not like USPSA or IDPA or I think IPSL or so. I forget that last one, right?
Yeah.
It's not like one of the major ones. They're a little more friendly here.
oh, for sure.
Because
and I need it.
we need, and it's has to, we just want good shooters out. We want people to be safe. However, this place also puts more challenges. Shoot houses, I've never shot a shoot house in USPSA because of the inherent safety risk.
Right.
And you would see a lot of people have problems. So at this range here, this Action Still is what we shot. It's not like Still Challenge. It's not even close, but similar name. People go through, and we're going to have people do more challenging things when it comes to movement and moving around.
Yeah.
But we're also going to help you guys out.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't want a barrel pointed at my face. Nobody does. And so we're going to be willing to
Nope.
kind of help out. Hey, dude,
Nope.
when you back up, because you miss some, back up or point the gun the opposite direction.
And I think that was really cool to see today, and just the camaraderie of the group. So I think, like I said before, we talked about it, and he recommended this be the first competition that I actually do, and got me out here. And like, he was absolutely right. Like, it was a great day today. I sucked for the most part today. I did have some good moments, but other than that, overall, it was an absolute blast. It showed me some deficiencies in my own training that I do outside the agency that I definitely need to spend more time on and work. Just put in the work.
And it all comes down to training. And training's a huge deal. Heck, it's in the name of this channel, right?
Yeah.
Defensive concepts training. Like, training is a huge deal. That's how you get better. Most training doesn't even need to take place at the range, and we can talk about that at another time. I think that's a very big, important part of it, just getting familiar. So takeaways from this. You've shot your first match. You've gotten that first match struggles out of the way. You've gotten your feet wet. You've seen some of the different divisions, different guns out there that people are shooting. People shoot everything here from stock M&P 1.0s to super nice modified AR9s with freaking that are just muzzle brakes and they're ready to go, right? So what are your next steps going forward with this?
I think there's some things I definitely need to take in consideration today. And like I said before, it's hard for me to put all the blame on the gun, but I've had this gun since 2014, so it's over 10 years now, and I've got a lot of rounds through it, but not like this. Yeah, definitely not like this. And so I'm not going to necessarily blame the gun, but I definitely would like to test out the gun to see where the accuracy issues are. But I think moving forward for sure, because we shoot a dot with our agency, so I've definitely gotten used to that. So moving into that, like, I think graduating and growing up a little bit and getting the 2.0, I really like the metal, and if it's not that, then Glock, some type of pistol with a red dot on there, and get good with it. I mean, essentially.
Yeah, and that's the dot's going to change things. You know this, I know this. The dot does change the way.
It does.
In competition world, it changes the division. It gives you more options when it comes to magazines and that sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily a fair comparison, I don't think, for pistol sights versus red dots, because the red dots get all the cool stuff in competition, and you get more and more to where if you want to be like shooting the coolest guns, you got to have a red dot and a bunch of other funky stuff going on there too.
Right.
Yes. Going forward, you're going to change a red dot. Now that means, hey guys, get out there and shoot a match.
Yeah.
Like, go out there, find a match.
Absolutely.
If you know someone who shoots competitively, ask them. I've been telling people I'll take them out. For how long have I been trying to get you out here? Probably about a year.
Since we met.
Yeah,
since we met and
years,
kind of went,
honestly.
hey, we both like shooting.
We both like shooting. Hey, dude, come do a match. Come do a match. Life got in the way. Busy. Dads, we got kids coming and going, all that sort of a thing. New job positions. We're busy people. We finally made it happen, and which was great. But don't sit here and think, oh, I have to have a red dot to go have.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like today, I had other options to run, but I wanted to run the OG because it's a little sentimental.
Yeah,
about
I get it, dude.
It's first pistol, but it's garbage. But with that being said, like, I was able to do the match, and I may have placed second to last in my division, which I'm totally okay with. Probably not so much, but I'm okay with, because it taught me valuable lessons today that what I need to work on. And I mean, I haven't shot iron sights since I've been issued a dot, so it's like, okay, cool. Need to get better at that, because there might be a day where the dot doesn't work, electronics fail, and I need to be good with it, right? And so, I think it's definitely a training thing today, and being in a different environment that focuses on different skills that we generally do practice. And so I think being able to take that away from that and now blend it with some of the other skills that I have, it's just, you're better. You're better for it.
He came in second to last. My first ever match was a 3-gun match. I was a broke college student. I was running a Remington 870 with 4 rounds in the chamber. I came in dead last. Dead last. Like twice.
Yeah.
Before I finally started coming not dead last. Switched out here to 2-gun. Started getting middle of the pack. Left 2-gun, left kind of these sort of things, went to USPSA. So I really wanted to challenge myself, and that's where I think, and I still believe that's where the challenge really is. It's like, that's where the best shooters in the world are at least the nation. So that's what I want. That's where I wanted to be at, to compare myself to them. But then it's always nice to come out here, and this is just a fun match. You come out here, you shoot still, you have a good time. You don't have to do a whole lot of reset or anything like that.
Yeah, but to touch base on the competitive side of it, right? I feel like, and in general, this doesn't just have to be a law enforcement thing, but you know, it is good to get around people who are going to push you, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just sitting on a computer watching, you know, YouTube videos or whatever and kind of seeing what it looks like and going by yourself. Like, that's all great. Like, go and do that, learn, push yourself. But until you get into a match like this where you're against guys who have the same passion as you, who geek out, nerd about gear and the ability to shoot. Like, it's one thing to have all the cool stuff, but if you can't shoot, then it doesn't do anything good for you. So get in a place that's gonna push you beyond that. It's like, you see a dude, you know, that can rip it down. It's like, well, why can't he rip it down? Well, because he put in the work for it to get there. So do you. And it's good to, you know, take the pill, the
suck pill.
the suck pill a little bit, but oh, I'm not as good as I thought I was, and and then move forward with it.
It's a very bitter pill. It's
Yeah.
a terrible pill, and I hate that pill.
Yep.
To this day, I still have to take that pill sometimes. And
Yeah,
it drives
absolutely.
me nuts.
Yep.
However, it just motivates me to do better.
Yep.
Like, I kind of took a break from training and shooting competitions because of just life reasons. And about 3 months ago, I was like, screw this, I'm getting back into it.
Mm-hmm.
And today really re-solidified my desire to get better.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
I was like, hey, I have fruit that I can improve on, low-hanging fruit that I can still
Yep.
get better at.
Absolutely.
And you hear some of the best people in the world talk. I've taken classes with like some nationally ranked shooters. They still talk about getting better. They're not coasting. Everybody who wants to get better is still pushing.
Yeah.
And I will say, do you have anything else to add? Anything that you can think about?
I mean, this was such an awesome day to be, and humbled. You know, it took a big piece of humble pie, and I can't speak to that enough,
Yeah.
honestly. And I think just the thing to get left with, like, you can, again, do all the training you want. Like, go get training at classes. That's all awesome. That's great. But then put those to the test, because where else are you going to put them to the test until, you know, a real world event where you have to use a gun in a bad situation, God forbid. But the next best place to do that is here.
The same skills that'll keep you alive in any sort of defensive shooting are what we use here.
Yeah.
Shooting quickly and accurately.
Mhm.
That's what defensive shootings are.
Yep.
That's what we do here. We have a lot of other stuff thrown in to make that more challenging, but guess what? If you got a guy with a gun to your face or trying to hurt someone you love, you're going to have that. It's going to be worse stress than what you feel here.
For sure.
And it's nice to get out here and kind of get a small taste of that stress and be able to,
Yeah.
hey, I can perform under stress.
Yeah.
And so if that happens, hey, guess what? That's why I kind of perform with more stock guns. We'll go over all this stuff at a later date.
Yep.
My pistol's pretty stock. I have a pretty basic holster. I don't run the nice race guns. Maybe someday I will, but for right now, I don't.
Yeah.
And on that, anything else, or you good? Well, I'll
No.
finish with this note then. Just, hey guys, doesn't matter what you have. Get out there, shoot a match. IDPA, USPSA, something like this, an outlaw match, action still challenge,
Yeah.
still challenge,
Yep.
anything. Show up there with some gear, talk to somebody. Most places will hook you up, and even if you don't really know what you're doing, they'll find a way to slide you in there
Yep.
and get you through that match and say,
Yep.
hey, next time, here's what you can do to be better prepared.
Yep. Saw that today even. Dude, optic went down.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody, he said, hey, dude, I got this set up that's similar to yours. Here you go. Let him rip the rest of the course.
Yeah.
It's a family community, man. And dudes are talking about, hey, I got a holster that'll fit that better. I got this. So, like, it's a, again, community thing. If you don't have anybody that'll go with you and you're scared to be by yourself, go to one match, dude. You'll leave with like 3 or 4 friends. Like, seriously.
We talked about that years ago, shooting a 2-gun match. This was back when ammo was a lot cheaper than it was now, so we had a lot of burn 'em up stages. I think I had like 3 pistol Glock mags. And we look at this stage, and I'm like, I don't have enough pistol mags for this. Some guy gave me 2 loaded pistol mags.
Yeah.
And said, shoot the ammo. And I was like, I don't have enough ammo to repay you. Like,
Yeah.
what do you need? He's like, I don't care. Shoot the ammo.
Yep.
Even though ammo's got a lot more expensive, people still do that today. I've
Oh,
kind of seen that.
yeah.
Hey, dude, you're short a mag. Here, take one of mine.
Mm-hmm.
As part of it, as a competitor, I don't want to screw over the guys I'm shooting against. Because if I beat you, I want it to be you at your best.
For a good reason. Yep.
Right? I don't want it to be for some stupid reason like you forgot a mag, didn't bring enough ammo, whatever.
Yep.
I want to beat you because you were at your A game and I was at my A game.
Yep.
And that's kind of the competitive kind of side of me where I'm like, yeah.
Yep. But again, point being, it's community. So I think that's just the coolest thing that I learned from today.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, get out there, run your gear. You're going to learn what does and doesn't work here on the clock more so than anything else.
Yep.
I laugh when people are like, yeah, I've held this gun for years and it's never had an issue. I'm like, that's because you don't actually know how to use it. Because you come out
Yeah.
here, your gun's going to break. I've had guns break. I've had malfunctions. I had a malfunction today.
Yep.
Even with very, very good, high quality stuff and
I had several
slight modifications, right?
Yeah, and I had several today.
It happens.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Just get out here and put in the work.
Yep. I think that's a good thing to land on.
Let's do it.
Put in the work.
Put in the work.